But being that Landstar, I know some people have their nitpicks about anything, but you can't have all pros and no cons. You know, you might go somewhere where they may give you a higher percentage, but you might not have volume as far as loads. You might go somewhere, or freight go. You might go somewhere where they may give you a higher rate per mile, but you don't have the loads. You know, it's just like shopping at Walmart versus shopping at Sam's. You buy it in bulk, you get a cheaper price. So agents play the rate game. Everything below I-40 in the wintertime, it's gonna suck.
Right.
Because if I was a broker and I had a customer in Georgia or Texas, I had one in Michigan or Wisconsin, I gotta please my customer.
Right.
So say for instance there's 200 trucks in an area and the rates are $1.75 a mile. The same agent has the same customer in Minnesota where it's snowing. He'll take money off that load to get someone to move that load to Minnesota. So one guy may say, well, hey, you know, that's too low. I'm not going to haul for that. That's okay. Tuesday will be here. So now it's 300 trucks empty.
Yeah.
And you're saying I'm not going to take the load. That's fine. Wednesday will come also. When you get to about Thursday, you realize you ain't made a dime.
Right.
You're going to take that load. He knows that already. So truck rates are determined by truck volume. Being at Landstar, the only way I would leave is if I got my own authority. Because I like the freedom to be able to pick and choose where I run, when I run, for how much I run. Of course, having your own authority is the ultimate. That's the ultimate goal, is to have your own authority. And just fill out your carrier packages and be able to pull for whoever you want to at that point. But you've got to be disciplined. You can't. I know a lot of guys that got their own authority. And some of them do good, some of them do well, but this is business, and you got to run where the money is at.
Right.
You know, you run wherever you feel comfortable, and nothing ever grows from a comfort zone. You know, everybody wants to run from Dallas to Atlanta for 2,500. It's like 1 million people want to do that and run back for 25. Well, I always tell guys, join the other 1 million guys that have the same mentality.
Right.
Reality of it is, the brokers don't control freight. We don't control freight. So it's like you know, I was explaining to you about all pros and no cons. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
You can get sometimes every now and then it's still a catch to that, you know. So just depends on the individual. But you gotta love this. You gotta love the game. I'm 38. I got in it when I was 26, 27 years old, and what I loved about it was, it gave me an opportunity to compete with guys who had been in it longer than me, who were more knowledgeable, who had made more money, better equipment. So it gave me kind of sort of a goal in being able to compete with those guys, because it is a competition. We all compete at points. But to be able to compete with those guys, it helps me grow.
Right.
I always tell guys, they say, oh, electronic logs is this and that. Well, let's just say, for instance, you were successful with paper logs, and now they have a new restriction. Can you still, or are you man enough to still maintain the same successful status with the new restriction?
Right.
So every man wants to stick their chest out and say that they're the man, they're the boss. Are you really the man or the boss? Let's find out.
Right.
Because someone's gonna make it work. So you're either gonna do what you gotta do to make it work, or you're gonna fall to the wayside. You know, and that's the thing about business, about trucking, is it's a sacrifice. It's not ever supposed to be comfortable all the time.
Right.
Everybody would do it if it was easy. It's not easy. You know, even having decent equipment, that's like a part-time job. When you look at what we do, is driving down the road doing paperwork. You gotta keep that equipment clean. You know, I mean, I always tell guys, don't spend your hard-earned money on something to simply tear your own stuff up. That's stupid.
Right.
If you're gonna tear somebody else's stuff, drop somebody else to tear that damn truck up.
Right.
But I'm not gonna pay $2,500 a month for a truck and ride down the road. You know, some guys do, some guys don't. Reciprocity. It's like an ATM machine, you know.
Right.
You go and put your card in, put your PIN number in, request $20 out. If that receipt says insufficient funds, that means you haven't put enough in me to demand anything out.
Right.
You first got to put in, then you can take out.
Yeah.
But understand, in order to keep this thing going, you have to keep reinvesting.
Right.
Some guys don't want to invest. They want to keep taking, but not give back.
Right.
And anybody knows that you keep taking from any kind of power source and you don't give back to it,
Right.
you're going to kill it.
Right.
Even God had to allow the ground to rest. You know, you can't keep drawing vegetables and crop and everything from the ground and you don't give it back anything.
Right.
You're going to kill the soil.
Right.
Same thing with this industry. So very few guys. There are some good guys out here. You and what's the other guy that I bumped into in California? Chris. Very few guys over at Landstar actually understand the concept.
Right.
Because they don't understand the weight of the responsibility.
Right.
That it takes to keep your equipment looking decent, to keep your health intact while you're out here on the road, to be safe. I always tell guys, my granddad would kick my butt if I was out here doing anything disorderly.
Yeah.
But not with his last name on the side of that door. So I couldn't get away with it anyway.
Right.
But I will say this, I'm 38. I have one friend that's under 50. Everyone else is past 65. They've been in this industry for more than 35 years.
Right.
So with me having a circle of influence that strong, I don't have a choice but to grow.
Right.
I feel like any guy that's under 40 that's in this industry needs a mentor. He needs someone who's been there, who's done that, who is so far ahead of him that it's unreal.
Right.
You know, so some guys may get intimidated by certain guys because they got good equipment. And I just ask him what he did. You know, maybe some tips that he can probably teach you. And
Right.
Every time I see a guy with nice equipment and he keeps himself up, I'm like, wow, I didn't think they still made you. Because it's so rare to see, you know.
Right.
And then DOT loves it when they see a nice clean truck, driver's intact. They actually let you slide with a lot of stuff.
Right.
When they see, okay, well this guy's already walked around, his truck is so spotless, so everything I was gonna catch, he's already caught it. So I'm wasting my time messing with him.
Yeah.
The guy that pulled through the scale, the bumper's hanging halfway off and chips on the dashboard, pull him around.
Right.
Because he probably doesn't know where anything is at.
Let's hold on for this beeper.